Welcome back, everybody. Downtown Detroit, Michigan, Ford Field, home of the NFL's Detroit Lions and the Mid-American Conference Championship game, first week of December. This is the Mid-American Conference Football Media Day, where we preview and hear from head coaches of every MAC program and some of the outstanding student athletes that make up said coaches' programs. Michael Regai with Dustin Fox as we say hello to a gentleman that really needs no introduction, but it's my job to introduce him as we say hi to the ultra-successful head football coach of the Toledo Rockets, Jason Candle, who, I mean, this program of yours now, 15 consecutive years, you've been a program above 500 from your assistant coaching time, and now head coaching time. You've been a part of all of that. So bottom line, right off the top, what's the ingredient, the main ingredient, Jason, that you believe you want to impart to every young man who becomes a Toledo Rocket to keep your program successful and continue to rise?
Well, Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
Dustin, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having the Rockets.
Of course.
But to answer your question, I think that, ultimately sustainability comes from continuity. I think we've got some really good teachers, that are able to build tremendous relationships with the student athletes in our locker room. And, our relationships between player to player, coach to coach, and coach to player are as strong as they've ever been. And in a world where, there's so many divisive figures and things in college athletics, we've been able to steady a ship in sometimes very choppy waters, and we're very proud of that.
Coach, what did you learn from last year's team and last season? Because it was a unique year for you guys, because you guys had the early SEC road win, and everyone's talking about Toledo being this team that could be here in Detroit, compete for the MAC title, and then sort of that letdown in November, which is uncharacteristic obviously for Toledo, and then you come back with the crazy bowl game, which I called right here in Detroit. What a roller coaster year you had.
A very unique year. You hit it. I mean, you start off and we break in 5 new offensive linemen, which is very hard to do. We probably got tricked a little bit with that win at Mississippi State, and our running game never really got the traction in the footing that we probably needed to be successful for the long haul. We hit a run of injuries in the secondary. We got Jaden Dotton, a starting receiver at the beginning of the year, who comes in and says, "Hey, I can help us at safety," and very unselfish decision. And another just bullet point of the kind of quality of young men we have in our locker room. But we had a slump there at the end of the year, and for whatever reason, and then we're able to finish it off with a great bowl victory here, right behind us. But lots of lessons to be learned from that as we go into 2025, and a new group, new time, new era, and a group that we're excited about to get kicked off.
Jason, I found it fascinating last year, as you said, 5 new starters on your line a year ago. No starts. They all start together. Now here, fast forward to this year, you got 42 starts returning on that offensive line, if my math is correct, I believe, thereabouts. What kind of difference can that make with the implementation of maybe even more in the offensive package?
Well, we're just in a better place in the run game. From the offensive line standpoint, I think there's more depth in the running back room. You brought in a couple high-profile transfers in the running back room, and a bigger body back, and just the overall status of that room is health. I mean, we're in a good place starting the year. So we've had guys in summer workouts the whole time at this time last year, kind of tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, maybe not, but we didn't. You know what I mean? So I think that, obviously the run game sets the table for everything else. It allows you to be a great play-action pass team, which we have been, and that's where your explosive plays come from. And it's not just drop back pass and allow the quarterback to go, control the whole thing.
Yeah. So you talk about that transfer running back. Chip comes in. I mean, he's been banged up for a while. It's 6th year for him after spending some time at Arizona State. How do you plan to use him? And obviously his health is going to be a concern because you've had some issues at that position. Yeah. But having a weapon like him, if he's healthy, is huge.
Well, to get 2 of them, to get Willie Shaw back healthy, to get Connor Wallensack back healthy. Yeah. You got 2 really good freshman backs that have come in. There's just a feeling of overall depth in a better, and like I said, that room's just in a better place. The offensive line, the continuity there, as Michael mentioned, 42 starts returning. You had a couple really good transfer portal pieces there, and Terrence Moore and Dom Rivera, Anthony Boswell. These guys are going to help immediately. So that has been a point of emphasis through the offseason. Back when we got done, as soon as that game ended here, we went to work on it, and we feel like we're in a good place.
Well, if you watch Toledo football, watch the MAC, about, Junior Vander Ross is awesome. Tucker Gleason's an awesome quarterback. So that connection's back. But then, I was looking through as we were preparing for this event, like, Trayvon Rudolph is a Toledo Rocket.
Yeah.
We've called that name for years in this conference, right? I mean, a
Yes.
terrific wide receiver who's now going to be in Toledo.
Yeah, college football in 2025,
man. It's wild.
I mean, just that's the place we're at. But to his situation specifically, man, what are you looking for in a transfer? Somebody that can come in and fit a culture, and not only just fit it, but enhance it,
Right.
And do a really good job earning the respect of the players in the locker room. And he's been unbelievable. Chip's been unbelievable. Terrence, those guys have been all really good from that standpoint of it. We got to hit some adversity here in preseason camp together, and we got to learn and grow together. Some tough moments. Some of those things we're going to have to create. Some of them will naturally show up due to, weather or whatever. But, happy he's with us. Going to have a big year for us, and we're excited to get him going.
13 starters coming back, and Tucker Gleason, your quarterback, who Dustin and I think, not just the max, one of the top quarterbacks in all of college football. How do you use his veteran experience and leadership in adding on and building on to what he can bring you leading your football team?
Well, I think all good coaches have the ability to create a plan around him as the quarterback that would allow him to have the confidence necessary to go play well. You can't show up to game day and be questioning what's going on around you at all times. You have to be able to play freely. You have to be able to react. And I go back to the starts that he had when he was not the starter. He came in key moments and really propelled us to some really great moments offensively. Turn to the Mississippi State game last year. I mean, we beat 2 Power 5 teams last year, and he was the starting quarterback in both of those games. So there shouldn't be any lack of confidence when he hits the field. He should feel more, comfortable and more confident in the guys around him and the 10 other guys that are going to be out there with him. And he's a vet in our system. So we got a lot of work to do to get to game one, but cautiously optimistic of what this thing looks like.
Well, everybody remembers 6 overtimes.
They changed the rules now, so we can't call these timeouts for you.
Yeah, that's right. How about that? Yeah. 6 overtimes in to beat Pitt last year.
It was a lot. I was battling an illness, too.
Well, you fought through.
I fought through. Everybody fought through that game, yeah.
All those fans
no question about it. We look forward to...
we all needed IVs after that one, man.
Yeah. We certainly look forward to seeing Jason Candle and his Toledo Rockets this year. Can't wait, Coach, because it's always a pleasure whether we're at Glass Bowl Stadium or with you on the road. Have a terrific 2025 with you and your football team.
I appreciate it. Thanks for all you guys do for college football and especially our conference.
Thanks, you.
Jason.
That's Jason Candle, the head football coach of the ultra-successful Toledo Rocket program. Now, here's what they have in store. Now, they're going to open up at Kentucky on August the 30th, and then the back-to-back home games with Western Kentucky and Morgan State. And then you see the MAC schedule with the road games at Western Michigan and then at down I-75 at rival Bowling Green. And so, this is a very, always a representative schedule for the Toledo Rockets, but an opportunity to, again, it's going to take playing outstanding football, but to stay at the top of the Mid-American Conference, where I'll say it for him because he's too humble, where Jason Campbell and his Rockets are used to being.
Well, listen, Toledo has built a name for themselves and a reputation across the country as a powerhouse, not just in the Mid-American Conference, but as a team that I don't care who you are, you don't want to see Toledo next to you, as an opponent. And so it doesn't matter. You play an SEC team. They could beat you in your building.
Yeah,
so there's no doubt that
we've known that for years.
They could do that again this year, and certainly with Tucker Gleason at quarterback. Tucker joins us here from Detroit. Tucker, good to have you, man.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Going into another year as a starting quarterback for this team. We just talked about all you give you guys every superlative there is in the book. How do you come back into a year with high expectations? You were 8-5 last year, but you're sitting right here in a building where you would like to be December 6th.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that, everybody in our building kind of feels like there was a lot left on the table after last year. I mean, you talk about the bowl win over Pitt, whatever, but nobody talks about the 2 games prior where we lost.
Yeah.
We finished the regular season on a 2-game losing streak. That doesn't feel good,
No doubt.
So it was nice to win the bowl game, but there's still a lot left on the table there for us.
Yeah. Offensive line, Michael talked about it with Coach. You guys had 5 new starters, the most of any team in the country at any level. And those guys are all back, right, with all this experience. How have you seen those guys grow and mesh together? And then for you got to be thrilled because you're not going to be running around, like getting these guys, new offensive linemen prepared, at your expense at times. It is what it is, but now you got to be excited about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's nice to have guys that are coming back and experience on the offensive line, and we went through some tough times last year together, and I always say that's what makes a good football player is tough times. So I'm excited for these guys to be back and to see what we can do in this offense.
We're always impressed with, and you're such a large part of it, but the offensive balance that you and your offensive mates can create. Where are you with that in terms of, everything in terms, maybe more between the ears, the mental stuff, what you've added during the course of the offseason and how that can benefit your football team to be potentially, Tucker, even a more explosive offense?
Yeah. I mean, you'd like to be in the perfect play every time, but that's just not the case.
Not reality.
With Coach Candle calling plays from the sidelines, I mean, he can only see so much. So that's what I tried to do this offseason is basically be another coach that's on the field that can see it. And he's given me a little more power in spring ball to kind of, if I see something, then I can change it. To try to get us into that perfect play, just as much as we can.
Yeah, real quick, how much do you throw in the off season? You look to me like you maybe gained a few pounds, got a little bit bigger. I mean, good weight, good muscle weight. How much you throw in the off season?
Yeah, so we try to get out there 3 times a week with the receivers, tight ends, running backs will join us every now and then. But that's all player led. We just get out there whenever, we got a big group chat. We text, hey, anybody want to throw? And, sometimes we'll have, 5 or 6 guys. Sometimes we'll have, every receiver in the, the room that come out there.
Yeah.
But I think we do a really good job of that and kind of getting that organized and together.
I want to ask you a question. It's fascinating to me because October 5th, you guys are going to go play Miami, and Daquan Finn's their quarterback now. And he was, before you, at Toledo, was the starting quarterback for the Rockets. That's going to be a unique game.
Yeah. I talked to DQ last night. He's here, and we went to that fouling event. So we talked, and it's all good.
Yeah.
It'll be fun, a fun game. Both of us are competitors.
Right.
We both want to win that game. So it'll be good football.
Yeah.
Can't wait for October 5th.
I'm already circling it, man. I'm circling it right now.
Tucker just said it perfectly. Don't even need to add. October 5th.
Yeah.
Circle it. Exactly right. Toledo and Miami. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Have a fantastic year, whether it's at the Glass Bowl or on the road. We always look forward to seeing you and Coach Candle